that a bit of analysis of teams that have won the World Cup, everyone in the squad, not just the starting 15, the squad had around 20 caps. Around 20 caps. Now, there were a few exceptions. Some players had 6, 7, and 8 down the bottom. But you look at this squad now, it's starting to move towards that. Sheen's up to 13. Some of the other guys there, I know McCarthy's only got 1, but a lot of the players in that squad are getting up into double figures. The fringe players are double figures as well. And that's what you want going into a World Cup. And I think Andy Farrell and his staff are to be commended for the quality of this group and how
Matt, if I could say that I agree with you, and I think in case there's any arguments from any of the listeners or people who are saying that there's not enough changes since the last World Cup, I'm counting the numbers here, and I think it's 20 of these guys were not at the World Cup in 2019. Yeah. So there has been a massive shift. Now, there's 1 or 2. I don't have the World Cup list with me, but it might be it might drop back to 19. But there's 19 or 20 of these guys who were not at a World Cup in this squad. So we've seen a huge shift. We've seen a huge change. Of course, you're always going to get the Tyke Furlongs and the James Ryans and Peter O'Mahony's, Josh van der Fleers, all these guys, Ringrose, Aki. They're playing well. They showed it last year. They're incredible players. So you're not going to get 30 new players going to the World Cup. There's certain guys who were at the 2019 World Cup will be at this World Cup in France. But there's a lot of change. And I think Andy Farrell deserves a lot of credit. He's capped a lot of players. He's given guys a lot of opportunities. And I still think in the next number of months, there's still room for other guys to really stake a claim. And we may see 1 or 2 surprises come that 23 that's probably announced the end of August, or that squad that's picked for the World Cup at the end of August. So there has been a lot of change here, and it's exciting. But I don't think we'll get carried away. I don't think this Six Nations is going to define Ireland. Ultimately, no matter what happens here, I still think the World Cup is going to be incredibly hard. Yeah. But we want to have a good Six Nations as well. And the big concern here is Warren Gatland with Wales and what's he going to bring and the spark that he will bring to Wales. But it's a strong squad. And I would say as well, and you probably agree, Matt, Joey Carberry is not out of the picture here.
Oh, no.
I think he's it's incredibly disappointing for him. He needs a reaction now, and he needs to be nice and calm, be looked after well by the Munster coaches, and just keep working on his game. And it changes very, very quickly.
Yeah, a final point on that. Sorry, Matt, before you come in. Just you're talking about caps and new players, which they've done so well, but also the average. I know there's Sexton has obviously over 100 caps and Murray's got 100, but the average across the board is 35, as far as I know, as far as I looked at. And that's a pretty good place to be in, isn't it?
Oh, I think it's a great place to be in, mate. You need, experience is so important at international level, and dealing with situations that you're going to be at. There's going to be a day in the World Cup, as there is for every team that's won a World Cup or made a final, where you're not playing well for a certain period in a game, and you're going to have to. Coach can't dig you out of that. Once you're on the field, you're on your own. The players have got to dig their way out of those things, or find a way. They're in front by 3. They got to close it down, shut that game down. Experience does that. Conor Murray, that's the guy who won on the field to close the game out. So, Stu, I think this is in a really strong position. I'm not saying we're going to win the World Cup, because this is going to be a super tight World Cup. Super tight. Any of the top 6 teams could do it. Australia and England are on the better side of the draw. This is the closest World Cup I've seen since, and I've seen them all. I think this will be the closest as far as who's going to win it in the history of the World Cup. But I think Ireland are in a really strong position now. Joey Carberry, to finish off on Quinny's point, needs to do. We're not talking a bit old school here. He needs to do exactly what you said, Alan. He needs some dog. He needs to get angry. He needs to get really angry about what's happened to him and take that out on the field, because he is not finished. He's a quality athlete, a quality player, but it's competition, and that's what it's about. It's getting the competition inside the squad before you go outside. To me, and I agree with Quinny about Gaddy, but the French game, that's 1 and 1 to me. That's 1 and 2 in the world. right now. That's going to be a great, great day. I'm looking forward to that. That's the day I'm really looking forward to. And France are going to come over and with all guns blazing. So it's a great Six Nations, and Ireland. I don't think there'll be a Grand Slam this Six Nations. I think it'll be I don't think everyone will go through undefeated, but I think whoever comes out on top on that France Ireland game, that could be they could go on to win the championship.